Hello, everyone out there on YouTube. Thank you for joining us this evening. I know that most of you guys are not ready for this, but I am. I am one of the co-hosts of Mommies and Money, and I am know that my other partner, Laura, is not here. She's actually with her husband right now. So you guys just make sure you just say hello or just say hello to Miss Laura while she's sitting there thinking about us, as well as I'm here with a special guest, Miss Brittany Veal. And you guys know the discussion tonight. I'm just going to go out and just say it. Girly girl has a little bun in the oven with a little baby girl, and I'm super excited. I cried when she told me. I've done all the boo-hooing. What can I shop for? Okay, I'm done. So it's just me and Brittany Veal, and as you guys know, I will sit there and I will take part in what Miss Laura has done best when it comes down to what we do and why we do it. Our mission statement is we are in a pursuit of excellence and the breaking of generational curses by empowering women and mothers, Brittany, through financial education to ensure a better future. So thank you for being on with us, Miss Brittany Veal. I know I have breaking news back here because it is breaking news for everyone that's out there, and especially for my niece Cam that's there inside of you. So when she gets to the point where she's actually here, I can show her that, hey, mommy was famous for like an hour. It's going to be great. So Miss Brittany Veal, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing great. And first and foremost, I want to say hello to everyone in the YouTube world. Shout out to Miss Laura for this platform, and of course, Miss Tanisha Steiger. You ladies are doing your thing. So I just want to say thank you for having me on. I'm definitely excited about it and feeling great, feeling good, and looking forward to, building more mommies and monies. Yes, many more
Yeah.
series.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. So I love the positivity. I love I love the excitement. So let's just get this little ball rolling. Okay. Many of us want to know. Are you excited?
I am very excited. Yes. Not only for my little bun in the oven, but of course, for the platform, that we have, because I know what I'm learning, what I'm a part of, is going to create more security for myself and my family. So, with that, I'm definitely excited. Before I was a part of this campaign, just to give you a little background about myself, I did some bartending. And what I learned through doing that was that you can make good money really fast at any job. Anything you do, you can make good money really fast. But do you know how to protect that money? Do you know how to save that money, right? And you can live that fast life. When you start having children, you want to be a bit more secure. You want to have a bit more of a platform or a plan that you can follow. So with the campaign, National Financial Literacy Campaign, I'm excited that I have a platform I can follow, and I know I can build wealth with that. So yes, I am very excited.
Fantastic. How long have you been in the campaign for?
I've been in the campaign since 2017. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. The reason why I reside in Atlanta, Georgia today is because my brother actually made it to the NFL some years ago, about oh 06, oh 07. It's so crazy. That's so long ago. That's why it seems so long ago. But he ended up moving us to Atlanta, Georgia, because he got drafted to the Falcons. So that was a big change, in my life, my family's life. He was actually the first person in our family to get a large sum of money, right? We've never seen that before. But one thing I quickly learned is that he actually got cut not too long after he was, recruited to NFL. And that
Wow.
really made me realize, yeah, you could get a lot of money, but you need to know what to do with it after that. So yeah, I
Very
definitely learned a lot from that situation.
See, when it comes down to family situations, I say the best way to learn is when you learn through the trials and tribulations you go through. I'm a big fan of lessons to be learned, right?
Yes.
We all have one that you're like, I ain't doing that again. We're not doing that. And you took the necessary precautions. So you joined in 2017 and you became a financial literacy campaigner and you're on this campaign with all of us. I would be wearing my button, but it actually fades into my background, guys. So I'm letting
Here
you
it
guys know
is.
I'm also too. Yes, Brittany is actually showing it for us. I am too a part of the financial literacy campaign, but guess who introduced me back? Guess who introduced me into it? This one, Brittany Veal. So thank you for that. Got a chance to meet my fearless leader, Jaleesa McRae, and I'm actually growing in the business as well. And I have to say, just side note, thank you, Brittany, for doing that and just making sure that I also know how to sit there and protect my future and make sure I can provide for my family and make sure I can help as many families as I possibly can because we both know our community definitely needs it. So let's just get some down into it. Brittany Veal,
Yes.
how are you feeling as a soon-to-be mom? And and you also know you're a campaigner.
Well, really, knowing that I'm a soon-to-be mom, this is the first time I'm going to be a mother. So I really don't know what to expect when it comes to the mother part. A lot of people tell me, it takes a village. The good news is I have a lot of support around me, not only my business colleagues, I have a lot of family that's here to support. So on that aspect, I'm very much excited and secure in that. But with the campaign, together, I know that I'm going to be able to put things in place for my daughter that my mother didn't have access to, and most importantly, didn't even know about because of the National Financial Literacy Campaign. The fact that we have our workshops every day, it's very inspiring to know that, I can do things that my family members weren't able to do for themselves, and it starts with us with breaking our generational curses. So every day I'm actually out sharing the campaign, what it is that we do. We financially educate people, come learn online, be your own money manager. But I'm more so excited because I was able to become a licensed professional. You can make money, but if you don't have a license, everyone, I'm telling everybody on the YouTube live right now, if you do not have a financial license, someone else is always taking care of your money, okay? So with that being said, having a daughter, I was like, I want to be more in control, and this platform helped me be more in control with my license that I use, and I can help other people with. So I love it, and I'm excited about it. I'm definitely looking forward to motherhood and building a family business, most importantly, because we can do that here.
Oh, okay. Big things pop it, little things stop it, right? Okay. So, have you actually, like you said there, instead of building a family business, so before even Cam gets here, just totally said her name. Sorry, Cam, but surprise, surprise, this is what your auntie does. So have you started a actual budget or an emergency fund for her just yet?
Yes, I actually have. Well, before I even knew I was, having a child, I was always big on making sure I have that emergency fund, that budget going, because as you guys witnessed, many people last year were lost their jobs because of a pandemic, and many people are still out of a job. So those who understood the importance of having that financial or emergency fund, it helped them stay afloat. So just with watching that, knowing that I need to have things in place, I already kind of set up budgets and plans. So she's just an additional one. But yes, I have begun saving. I have begun putting away an emergency fund for her because I don't want to have her grow up like I did. When you ask yourself, I don't want to have to say no to her. But of course, it's going to be for emergencies. But she's also going to be able to get to what she wants. But yeah, that's very important because you never know what can happen in today's world. And with building that strong financial foundation, of course, you got to have that protection, that debt management, that emergency fund, and then you want to save and invest for the long run. That's really how you build it strong. So yes, I absolutely have started that. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm super happy that you said that. And I'm assuming, you probably were just like many mothers, soon, like even moms that are already mommies and already doing it, been there, done that, doing it, soon to be mommies, brand new moms. Is it can they also get the information on workshop number 1, increasing cash flow? That's how you can sit there and actually learn how to sit there and budget, correct?
Absolutely. And that's really where I learned everything that I know. So of course, those of you watching, connect with Miss Tanisha Steiger, myself, because you can actually look at your own personal financial plan to really attack your financial goals. Many people go out in the world, they don't really have a plan or any structure, and they just hope things happen. But when you do that, life ends up happening to you. So it's important to sit down with someone who can actually educate you, show you how to save, show you where to save, and you can build that strong financial foundation the right way, and not just out here la 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 hoping everything just falls in your lap, right? So you can absolutely learn that in our workshop 1. We have 5 different workshops. Workshop 1, actually one of my favorites, increasing cash flow and debt management. You'll be able to learn all those nuggets in there. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, I'm glad that you mentioned that. But I heard a very, 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 very beautiful word. You said the word save. That's super important. And we both know that we have a lot of people out there that are trying to do TikTok flex, Instagram flex. I mean, people probably rent out hotel rooms, motel rooms just to have a whole photo shoot inside of them with buying new outfits for who. But we both know that some of us in our community are doing that, while some of us are actually doing what you just said, with saving, right? So my next question would be, you say you had to start an emergency fund, but have you thought about the savings plan that you're going to do for baby girl Cam?
Yeah, so really, there's many different ways to save, and you want to make sure you allocate your money in many different positions. For instance, long term, you also want to have, of course, like you said, that emergency fund, but that liquid cash. It's important to have that liquid cash and knowing where you save it, what accounts to save it in. Because with that being said, you need to have something you can access, but you also want to have something that's growing your money as well. A lot of people keep their money in the bank. But if you come on to our workshops, you'll learn something called the Rule of 72. I won't spill it, everything, but what it is really you take the number 72, you divide it by interest earned on your account, and that's how long it'll take for your money to double. That's the answer you get, is how long it'll take for your money to double. So with knowing that the bank normally offers maybe 1%, if that, it can take 72 years for your money to double. So it's important to know the many different accounts you can put your money in, mutual funds. You can use the bank. Many different things like that. But for my daughter, I do have a long-term plan for her, and I do have a liquid account for her. Yes, I do.
Okay. So we see the financial education seeping in and going in from into mommy into the baby. So I hope she's listening, because you just knock on the door like, hey, you hear this? You hear what I'm doing with you? All right. I was so excited. So since you became a campaigner and you're in this wonderful business that we have here at WSB, I love the fact that you are actually implementing the financial education. You're not just listening to it and then pushing to the side. You're implementing that, and because we all know that knowledge is power, but knowledge is useless if you don't actually apply it. Correct? So let me know, or just give the people out there, give them something to feel like as a campaigner, and how has that changed the outlook, not just for baby girl, but for yourself? Like, how's it changed the outlook of what you're doing now and how you see yourself in the next 5-10 years?
Absolutely. If you don't mind, actually, I want to share something with you, something very
I would
powerful.
never mind.
Yes, I appreciate that. What is this? Can you see my screen here?
I sure can. Saving your
Awesome.
future.
Yes, ma'am. So, of course, being a financial educator, you have to have at least some type of book, I feel, right? So, this
Yeah.
book is actually a part of our platform, our National Financial Literacy Campaign, and everything we do actually comes out of this here. But as you can see, Saving Your Future is only 86 pages. It goes over basic principles of building a strong, solid financial foundation. And you can really make sure you talk to us so we can give you access to this. But I love this book here. And as it relates to your question, hey, Miss Delita, I see Delita got on. That's our girl, our fearless leader there. Welcome. As you can see here, it's important to make money, yes. save money, absolutely. Growing your money is where it gets a little tricky for people, but most importantly, protecting your money is the most important because, like I said, you can make a lot, but then you can lose it, right? So we have to learn how to protect it. So as it relates to your question, I know for myself and in the future that I'm going to be very much secure because I know how to make money, right? I'm a licensed professional. I know how to save money, where to save it. I know how to grow my money. But most importantly, I know how to protect that money. So in the future, I know I'm definitely going to have everything I need and want and be able to travel the world. But as that relates, it's important to know how to build a solid financial foundation, right? And it's really just like
Right.
building a house. You should start with a solid foundation and build it from the ground up. So in my particular situation, protection is something I did not have before I joined this campaign. I remember I used to just be driving in my car. It was always something in the back of my mind, but I never understood it or never knew what it was. I didn't know the tangibles of it, but I would drive in my car before I was in this campaign. I would think, wow, if something happened to me right now, how would I pay my bills? How if I couldn't go to work tomorrow, how would I pay my bills? And I never even knew about protection and most importantly, protecting your income, right? Not just your life, but protecting your income. So now I have an ample amount of protection in place. And these are all things I'm always working on, right? We always want to make sure we're working on these things. So protection, boom. We want to make sure you definitely build that thing up. And then you want to focus on debt management because really that can limit your ability to save for your future. So it's important that you focus on debt management. I do have to eliminate all your debt. Sometimes that stresses people out, right? You're like, oh, I got to do all of it. No, but you want to manage it. So you're in a good position. And then you want to have that emergency fund that we talked about, right? And Tanisha, because again, last year, many people were out of a job and still out of their jobs because of the pandemic. So it's important to set aside at least 3 to 6 months of your income, but I would recommend at least 1 to 2 years because you see a whole pandemic where people off for 12 months. So I would definitely recommend at least 1 to 2 years of emergency fund. And then you want to save and invest for the long run. So because of the National Financial Literacy Campaign, I know my financial future is strong. I know my future is bright. Because not only can I, build my foundation strong, I'm also able to help provide these solutions for families and to families and share this education. Because I'm sure I'm not the first new mommy in the world, right? So it's important to know these things, but most importantly, put ourselves in a position to be able to share this with others. So I'm definitely excited about my future because I know this and I'm able to share this and help other families with it. So thank you for
That's
letting me share.
absolutely beautiful. You made it sound like it should be a song that Mariah Carey should be dropping like in the next 3 months.
I wish I could
Um,
see.
please don't. Uh,
Correct.
please don't,
I'll sing
because
for you
not
later.
everybody's Mariah. But for when it comes down to, and you spoke very highly of the financial foundation, and a lot of us, like you said, last year taught us that most of us were not prepared. Right, most of us were not prepared. We probably have a lot of COVID babies that are coming out of this, right? That some new moms may be not confused, but they're thinking like, I got to take care of this baby. I got to take care of my family. Like, how can I do all of this and manage a newborn or manage a child? And if they, as well as if they want if they want to be able to do the business, like the time management may not want to like be there. So how do you think that's going to affect you when it comes down to when she's actually here?
Well, the beauty about what we do is that it really takes, of course, a village. Everybody knows to raise a child. But with business and having people, that are with you in business and in life, it's always somebody there that you can count on. Right. So working with other leaders like yourself, right? Marcus, I see you're on. Welcome. Ms. Delita, of course. You always have somebody there. If you don't know, then someone else is there to help you and work it out with you. So I feel like just managing my time would be very easy because again, I have that support at home so where they can help, with baby girl, but I also have that team, with me that's also on the same mission and same vision. So I say it works out perfectly and I'm definitely looking forward to it and excited about it.
I love how you mentioned village, and I mean we all know, like I mean our community, it does take a village. It definitely does. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a side note here. Don't always call me, okay? If you're trying, don't always call me.
Be the
But,
first.
I'll still be there, to make sure I can sit there and help any way that I can when it comes down to you being a brand new mom. So I know that, when you said village, my first thought was unity and in community, right? We need to come together. So if you were sitting there as a speaker, let's just say, I mean, how far along are you, Brittany? Like 4 or 5, how far along are you?
21 weeks. I think that's 5 months.
Okay, so five. Okay, so if you just give me like a 5 minute, a 5 minute speech, just like accept your inner Malcolm X, okay? And a 5 minute speech on why financial education is important for our community and for our babies.
Oh, absolutely. Well, honestly, if you look around, you can really see why it's important. Many people, again, working paycheck to paycheck, job to job, not enjoying their life. Growing up struggling, seeing struggle, thinking it's normal. I know, especially in our community, it's very unfortunate. But during times where we weren't able to read, even if we even were caught with a book, right? They're castrating our men. They're beating us. They're killing us for even opening up a book. And it's the reason is because of that is because they understand the importance of education and implementing that education. So now that we're in position to do that, it's important that we do read and we do apply because we need to end our generational curses, and it begins with us. So we have to be that all ball out. We have to be that black sheep in our family, right? It doesn't just go do the same thing, that hanging out, smoking, drinking. We have to be the one that really wants more, because that is literally how our generation is going to be changed, and it starts with us. So financial education is really how we're going to escape the shackles that is on our minds of people. I honestly say all the time, I feel like slavery today, if not worse, I would say, because now they have our minds, right? Because now we're not focused on financial education. But with financial education, you can actually become free. You start having access to things like better healthcare, right? Better places to save your money, right? Knowing how to protect your money, and most importantly, becoming your own money manager by getting licensed. And being in control of your money is the most important thing. So I feel like once we become educated, we can put ourselves in position of power, and that's how we can start building our communities, and we can start going back home, right? Building back home in Africa, because we now understand how money works.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. If anyone out there in YouTube world, me and Brittany, we go way back. And our goal is to go back home and be able to share this information to our people there as well, because we all need it. And I know I'm probably going to Madagascar. I think Brittany's going to Ghana, but we'll be an airport away. So we'll be an airport away.
We'll go together.
Still come together, right? So I'm glad that you said that. And like I said, I think the biggest fear for a lot of brand new moms is that they don't know where to start. Can you be able to elaborate on your journey in the beginning of how you even got started, like in the financial literacy camp, like in the financial world period? Like, what was that like for you?
Absolutely. Really, to touch back on, the incident with my brother, him, being a part of the NFL, getting cut. I was very young when that happened. I wasn't too sure, exactly what it meant. But I knew it just really hurt my family. I knew that he made a lot of money, and, that could be getting jeopardized, right? So I wanted to make sure that if I was ever in that position, I don't want to put my family in that, right? So I didn't really know where to turn. I just thought I needed to make a lot of money. So I looked into real estate. I looked into, personal training, right? A lot of things where I feel like I can make a lot of money. Of course, I'm passionate about, but where financial literacy came in, literally one day I was just working, bartending, actually together with Tanisha, I believe. I don't know if you're there at the time, but in my mind, I was just chanting to myself, better is going to come to me. Greater doors are going to open. And literally, as I'm chanting this in my head, I'm literally saying it. in my mind, Miss Delita McRae walks up to me and says she likes my hair. And she invited me to a workshop, which was workshop 1, increasing cash flow and debt management. And I literally been here ever since, because I realized, wow, I understand that I can make money now, but how do I protect that money? How do I grow that money? How can I put myself in position to be the manager of my own money? Because it's really not about how much you make that counts. It's really what you keep that counts, and where you put it to where your money can make more money for you, right? So learning that, I joined this campaign. I wish I could join again. I tried to join twice, right? Because this has literally changed my life. And just in perspective, how money works, how money moves. I've been able to, of course, protect myself. My family has protection, and sharing that with other people. So it's a great campaign, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds like an incredible beginning of a journey. And you said, since 2017, right? Like it's a
Yes,
journey. Like
it is.
it's something that does not come in one week. Like it's nothing that does not. You just go to one workshop. You're like, oh, I got it. Like something's gonna resonate in you. Like you did. You mentioned the Rule of 72 earlier. So I'm assuming that's what really got to you.
Yes.
That's what got to you, right? You're like, what the heck? No one told me about this. And there's people out there, Rule 72, compounding interest. You know what? Just contact one of me or Brittany, and we'll definitely be able to explain that to you. Or we'll put that on another show, or you can just, either way. So I know that, like you said, it's a journey. And with that journey of, most people are very much afraid to take that jump. And somebody great showed you. By the way, shout out to Ghana, shout out to Delita with the name Born on a Monday. Like, go ahead. I believe you, girl. High five it, because I'm Tanisha and my name means born on a Monday as well, but in Swahili. So I get it. But like I said, it seems like that beginning stage where most people are so scared to take that jump. They're so scared to put their foot in the water. They're afraid of the worst, the fear. It's always the fear and the negative thinking and the rejection that likes to hold people back. I know that I've said this to you plenty of times when we were just, hanging out, or, when we were in Trainers Academy together. I said, hey, passing over opportunity repeatedly should really be like somewhere on on a billboard, because there's so many opportunities here. And not only have I seen you grow, but I've seen you grow as Britney to Britney Veal, So I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you. I'm not going to get emotional, I swear. I'm very proud of you for even taking that step. And thank you for sharing, because I know that's going to help a lot of women that's out there thinking to themselves, like, I can, but I can't. Or I don't know, but I want to, and it's the but that stops them.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing your story on that. Now, I kind of, you know how I am. My biggest thing was the estate planning, right? That's my key. Like, we're talking about legacy, breaking generational curses. We're talking about making sure that you be the first person in your family to break that curse, and you start the generational wealth. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions. You can say yes or no. You can be like, Tanisha, I don't want to sit there and disclose that information. So your protection plans you have for yourself. Is there going to be a new beneficiary?
Of course there is, absolutely. Of course, my little butt in the oven will have to be on there, but most importantly, she's going to have her own plan as well. I know.
What kind of plan is that? What kind of plan are you talking about?
Well, I'm glad you asked. And really, I wanted to touch back. I'm sorry. I wanted to touch back on what you mentioned, those people who want to do something, but they always have that but, or, that kind of counteracting. The most important thing, especially even in what we do, even in financial education, anything you want to do, you have to work on yourself, right? You have to make sure you're reading. You have to make sure you're feeding your mind good things, because that inner voice, sometimes it can really knock you down or it can build you up. So you want to feed that inner voice good things, because if not, life can just happen to you. If you're just sitting and chilling, life will just happen. So it was important definitely to feed your mind and be around those positive people. that want to see you grow as well. So I appreciate that. I wanted to touch on that. But if I can share my screen again, I'm really glad you asked, because this is something that really changed my life, this plan here. And what it really does is it talks about growth and safety and actually having it at the same time. When a lot of people think about saving, they feel like either they're going to get growth or they're going to get safety. They have to choose one. So that plan that I actually have for myself, and I intend to have one for my daughter as well, it gives you that, right? So as I, pour into this plan here, my daughter's going to get growth for her money, right? It's going to be able to grow. But most importantly, it's safe. So when the market crashes, not if, but when it does, I know my daughter will be safe at a 0.75, that her money will never go beneath that. But most importantly, the tax advantages. It's important to know where we're keeping our money and what are the taxes implementations on that money. But most importantly, that protection. Now, no one really plans for their children to pass. No one plans for that, right? But this really
Correct.
is for my daughter to live. I'm really planning for her life. So this plan that I mentioned is actually called the Index Universal Life Plan. And it's protection over your life, your health, and your income. It provides tax advantages, safety for your money, and growth. Again, to all those YouTubers out there, everyone listening, make sure you get with either Tanisha or myself, anyone on the call here, because we really can show you ways where you can build that strong, solid financial foundation. Now, I'm not going to say this plan works for everybody, but you need to know your situation, where you are, and have access to those things that can help you. But this plan here is really what I'm excited about. I'm personally using it for retirement for myself, but it's not a retirement account. It's actually protection. That's actually what it is. But you can also, of course, use it for what you need to, because I'll be able to pull money out of this. So this is the plan that I've used for myself. I plan to have for my daughter as well. And again, this is the long-term plan that I'm going to have for her. So it's important to diversify and allocate your money in many different ways. But just knowing about it is the most important thing, of course. So again, this book is only 86 pages. It's called Saving Your Future. And we go through these concepts in our workshops every Monday through Friday, online, virtual. We do have financial centers all over the US and Canada that are now open. So we want to make sure we can get you guys in our financial centers or online. So please join us. But this is the plan here, Ms. Tanisha, that I love to share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the visual. I mean, a lot of us out there are probably like, what is she talking about? What I index, what? Again, if you ask yourself that question out there, that means we need to put you in a workshop. That's what that means. It means you get with one of us and we need to put you in the workshop. So I know that I told you I was going to get on this estate planning, and I know that you have a very good you have a good plan for the long term. I'm gonna, Brittany, have you started your will yet?
Yes, thanks to Everest, I have. And it's so interesting. It was actually kind of fun going through it, because no one really wants to take time, to do those type of things, but it's actually very liberating. So once I completed it, it was actually very, very fun, and I enjoyed it. And I definitely encourage everyone, even if people always say, oh, I don't have anything. If you own a bank account, if you have a car, you need a will. It's really that simple. But yes, I have.
Now, can you reiterate what you just said there? If you have a bank account, if you have a will, if you have a car, what do you mean by that? Just, if I was slow, explain to me what you mean by that.
Well, if you own anything, if you have any belongings, most people do have a bank account. If you have a bank
Mhm.
account, you need to have a will, because if you don't, then the government can decide what happens in your bank account. So it's important to have a
Mm.
will for even instances like that, right? Or who, can be beneficiary over your bank account as well. It's important to have that in place. But even then, you just want to make sure your belongings and your wishes are followed out if you're no longer here. You don't want your family bickering and fighting over your things, because, they're already grieving. They don't want to go through financial stress as well. So it's just the mature thing to do. It's really a part of building that strong financial foundation. And it's very simple. Many people think it's like hurdles and hoops you got to go over, but it's really not. But most importantly, update it. You got to make sure you keep updating it as well. So yes.
Right. And you mentioned Everest, and I'm pretty sure you're not talking about the mountain. So what are you talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Well, of course, a part of our National Financial Literacy Campaign, we actually work with over 150 different financial institutions, and Everest Concierge and Funeral Planning is actually one of our providers. And what they do is offer a plan to where you can actually follow out your wishes if you were no longer to be here. But it's also a whole life plan. What that means is it's a type of a life insurance that is also attached to a will and concierge service. So it's a beautiful thing to have access to that because I did not know about it before this campaign. So very thankful for that. But yes, Everest is one of our providers.
Okay, just making sure we weren't talking about the mountain. So everyone out there, listen to the information because this is really, really good. We're talking to a about to be, soon to be mother. Some of us very confused, very scared in that world. You're just thinking about the one little person that's inside of you, and sometimes you're on a weeble wobble. You don't know exactly where to start. Thank you, Brittany, for for sharing that because maybe I need to get an Everest too. Just kidding, I already have one. So
one step
just
ahead.
kidding. So, but now that you actually stated that you have a will through Everest, are we talking plans to get a trust in the future? Because you know that the will does not take you out of probate court, which a lot of people do not know about. Like a will it does give the directions to where the directions are needed. It's like you're on a highway, it tells you to get off exit 7, but it's not going to tell you where exactly to go after that. So do you plan on getting a trust for your family, and keeping it inside and making sure there's heirs so you can be like the Black version of the Rothschilds or Rockefellers or the J.P. Morgans?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. It's so funny you mentioned that because me and my spouse, we actually talked about that today, and we looked at our whole estate plan and what that looks like. So a trust, absolutely. And like you said, the will do not keep you out of probate court. Now, I'm not a lawyer or anything, okay? So don't come for me if I, miss out anything, but no, it does not. But trust can. So yes, absolutely going to have a trust. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
And how early can you decide to even get the trust done? Is there a time limit, a time frame, not time limit, but time frame?
I don't believe so. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sure of the time frame, but anyone can get a trust from what I know. From what I know, anyone can get a trust. I know Delita may know a little bit more about that in particular, but I don't believe there's a time frame or even age that you can get a trust.
Oh, okay. Okay. So another reason to also go back to the workshops and make sure you get more aware about what a trust actually does. Thank you, Brittany. And she just put Delita on the spot. So Delita McRae is actually the director behind the scenes. She's the one who helps us all out. So everyone out there, Delita McRae, she's representing for the so she's in the red and white. So everyone out there is probably like, what's going on? No,
no hands up, Tanisha. No hands up.
I was gonna say, get in trouble.
Don't do that again.
Don't get in trouble.
Oh, I don't know the rules of the. Marcus, get off my screen.
He acting up. He came off a hidden camera for that. He must know.
It's okay. It's so really funny. Okay because he forgets I'm a producer of Fathers and Finance, so I got him. It's just fine. So and you mentioned the father of your child, Brittany. Is the father of your child also in the campaign as well?
He is, yes. And, I feel that it's very important to be with someone who's like-minded. So, yes, we're absolutely, he is in the campaign. And like I said, looking forward to building a family business, So with anything you do, with your partner, you want to at least have something that you guys can come together, with. So, yes, and I'm very excited about that. Because not having a spouse that supports, you can do it, but I would say it's a little more difficult. So yes, he is a part of the campaign as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so like minds. I like that. I like that. So we definitely understand why you got the will, and you're talking about wills. You're talking about trust. You're talking about child grow up plans. You're building a strong financial foundation. Has there been any hiccups that you kind of struggled with along the way during the term thus far?
Absolutely. I wouldn't say it was like it's been a breeze, of course. And of course, I'm still working on myself every day. But really, the only hiccup is myself. With anything we do, we like to put blame on this or that, but I will honestly blame myself in making sure that, staying focused, because again, just having a little button oven can make your mind go a little crazy. But again, having that support around you to, people letting you know everything's going to be okay, right? And just to keep your head in the game, it's easier to keep going. But like I said, I love my team. I love the people that I work with every day, the people I build with. So that's definitely helped me out a lot. And of course, meetings, right? Keeping our minds in our meetings. And again, that's how you feed yourself. That's how you build yourself. And then implementing is the next step. So the biggest thing I would say is myself, my mind, yes. And everyone goes through that. So I feel comfortable in being transparent and letting everyone know that it's okay. It happens. Just make sure you get back on that horse and you keep going, So just keep going and keep feeding your mind good things, most importantly.
Yes, well said. Well said, sis. I'm, very, very proud of you. Like I stated before, you are doing amazing things, and like I will always stand behind you, making sure if I can just give you that little nudge or that little push or sometimes a little kick in the back of the head, I will definitely be there for you for that.
I appreciate you, girl.
And I like to, and it's definitely you're bringing some insight into me because I'm the mommy in training. I don't have any children yet. I just have future goddaughters and nieces and godsons and that it's not I can give them back, but there's nothing like a mom's love. And when I lost mine, so that's the one thing I think is kind of it's not holding me back because I definitely am not ready for a child just yet. I know that, but that's the one thing I envy a lot of friends of mine as well as like you who have their the grandma. Like I know your mom is probably super excited to be able to be she's gonna be a grandmommy, right? And you were like, you're like, I'm Brittany, I'm just gonna keep building, and grandma's over here like, I gotta figure out what shoes I gotta buy her. You're probably like, budget yourself, like, like think about what's the bigger picture here. So, this baby girl Cam, do you have any expectations for her? Like, I mean, I know that you really want her to be able to grow up and at least know the basics of financial financial education. But do you have any goals? Like, do you want her to go to college? Do you have any plans for her to go to college? And if you do have plans, is there anything that we could sit there and elaborate on when it comes down to the college planning? Because a lot of parents forget about that small aspect of parenthood.
Yes, yes. And college is actually part of building a strong financial foundation. So absolutely, of course, I want her to be an entrepreneur like mommy and, be in the business. But if she does decide to go to college, of course, I would absolutely support her 100%. And again, I'm so thankful for this platform because, we are partnered with a nonprofit organization, a college coaching program, HIFE institution, that also assists students, 8th grade, second semester, all the way throughout high school, in finding a college that works well for them. So assisting their extracurricular activities, interviewing them, because many students nowadays, they're going to school for 4, 5, 6 years, really for a 4-year degree, right? So it's important that we understand, first off, the planning and what it takes into getting.
Everything okay? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube Live that we lost Brittany Veal. She's coming back on. She's think she just dropped off. But once again, thank you guys for just being on with us tonight. I do know that Miss Laura's out there watching. So Laura, hope we're making you proud.
Yep, you can keep it going. You still have a mommy on with you. So what she was talking about is the college coaching, and I got you.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're not alone. You're not alone. That's called teamwork, the village, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we just pop right on in. Just keep doing what we got to do. It's interesting, the college coaching program that we're talking about. There she is. She's back. The college coaching program is very special. It's actually one of the things that's near and dear to my heart. Having a background in higher education, student affairs, and also with just going through college myself and experiencing what it was to have student loan debt, both for undergrad and graduate. Every child deserves a coach. Every child deserves a coach. In my opinion, education is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how many languages you speak or don't speak. It doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have or do not have. When you talk education, it's the great equalizer. And so to be able to help a child or children enter that gateway of life and not come out with an abundance of student loan debt, to be able to go in with clarity of majors as opposed to having to switch majors 2, 3, 4 times because they're trying to find themselves, to be able to choose the right college, right? All of that matters. And, that's the beauty of having a coach. You think about fitness, right? And, I have a partner right now, a business partner / big brother. He's actually on Fathers and Finance. He coaches me on health, him and his wife, health and wellness, and as does Tanisha. Actually, we got a date. We gotta get something done. Come on, we got to do our thing, right? We working on something, right? So with health, you get a coach with health and fitness, right? You want to get on point. You want to have good teeth. You go to the dentist. Ladies, we know what it is to go see our OBGYNs, and all of those. You have trainers. You want to learn a sport. My daughter just finished swim season. She had a great coach, and the team, they went to 5-0 because of their coaches and of course of their practice and ability. But what about our students? We know as of 2014, student loan debt has now surpassed that of credit card debt in this country. So we can't say that we know what we're doing. The fact of going to school or applying to school, many of our kids don't even choose the right school. When parents are looking at schools, oftentimes they choose based on costs. That's actually not the way to choose, right? The schools that cost more oftentimes give more support financially, and the schools that cost less actually give less support financially traditionally. And so having a coach, it's so important. And so that college coaching program that Britney had just started speaking of, just last week, I just enrolled a student into it. And he's going to have he has an amazing coach. He's going to have a bright future already added on to what he already has before him. And when you can build that village of support for your children, man, I tell you, there's no stopping them. And every child deserves that. So if you have a child or children, or, your ministry at church, or you're a grandparent or auntie, uncle, or you're just a godparent, or someone just has influence over children, really look into that, because it's something that can help our kids with a great start to life.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. And like Delisa said, she is a high college consultant. So you have everyone on here. All the triangle is here. You have financial education at its best. So I know that we're getting closer to the end. I just want to be able to, I will say thank you to Britney. But Britney, would you like to just say any last words before we exit out of Mommies and Money?
Yes, I do want to apologize about that. I had a little crash, but virtual world is kind of crazy, but we're going to hop back on it. Thank you so much, Letha, for jumping in and sharing that. Absolutely. But I just want to say thank you again to Nisha and Miss Laura. I know you guys have an awesome platform here. So thank you for letting me be able to share my story. And for all the mommies out there, or soon to be mommies, or mommies in training, make sure you sit down at least an hour or some time, doesn't matter, to plan for your financial financial future, and of course, your children's financial future. And with this platform, National Financial Literacy Campaign, you can put yourself in a position really to be your own money manager as you learn and earn. So again, thank you so much, Letha, and I look forward to all building with you all.
Thank you so much, Britney, for coming and being a part of it. We are very happy, and we're happy for you, and you know that. We are a part of the village, so like we said, we will always have your back, okay? We love you. I love you. Thank you once again,
Yes,
ladies and
we
gentlemen.
love
See, we love you. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. That's on out there in the YouTube world. So I'll have a survey link. I'll have the information on the YouTube channel page, so you can be able to contact us. You can either email us at wearephoenix2017, and I say Phoenix, not like the bird, but it sounds like it, but it's spelled FENIX 2017 at gmail.com. Please join us with our Big Brothers, Fathers and Finance on Tuesdays at 6:30. We also have, we have Singles and Soaring every fourth Saturday of the month. And that is actually really well, because that's kind of like where I am right now. So it's my favorite, right? So thanks once again out there. And I look forward to being with you guys once again next Thursday, same time, different hairstyle. Shout out to the natural hairstyles. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Night.
Great job. Thank you again. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.